Hello friends, I am Sreerupa, a tutor from Axis Coaching. Welcome to my PTE reading tip of the day. In today's video, we are going to discuss about reading question type fill in the blanks. But before that, I want to give you a complete idea regarding the pattern of the PTE reading test. So you have 32 to 41 minutes for your PTE reading test. And there will be 5 types of questions which I have jotted down for you over here. The questions are multiple choice question, single answer, multiple choice question, multiple answer, reorder paragraphs, reading, fill in the blanks, reading and writing, fill in the blanks, which is also known as drop down. Now, what we have to understand is that the sequence in which these questions come do vary. Okay. One possible sequence I have jotted down for you on the board. And what is that? Look, I have numbered them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one possible sequence is you get your multiple choice question single answer first. Then you will get multiple choice question multiple answer. Then reorder paragraphs. Then reading fill in the blanks, which we also call as reading fill in the blanks drag and drop, and reading and writing fill in the blanks drop down. So this is one possible sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, it cannot be guaranteed that you're always going to get multiple choice question single answer first and end with fill in the blanks drop down. Okay, the next possible sequence, another possible sequence is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That means you start your reading test with reading and writing fill in the blanks, which we also call as fill in the blanks drop down, and this has got a lot of weightage. Then you will get fill in the blanks drag and drop, then reorder paragraphs, multiple choice question multiple answer, and multiple choice question single answer. So how many sequences did we see right now till now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Apart from these two possible sequences, we have 2 more sequences which can be there for you on the day of the examination. So what is a third possible sequence? So it can be 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. So when I say 4, 5, 3, 2, 1, that is a third possible sequence. What do I mean exactly? That means in that case, you start with your fill in the blanks, drag and drop. Okay. Then you have fill in the blanks, drop down. 4, 5. Okay. Then you get reorder paragraphs, multiple choice question, multiple answer, and multiple choice question, single answer. So this is the third possible sequence. And the fourth and the last possible sequence is 2, 1, 3, 4, 5. That means you get your multiple choice question, multiple answer first, then multiple choice question, single answer, then reorder paragraphs, then fill in the blanks, and then fill in the blanks drop down. So what do we understand from this? So how many patterns did we say right now? How many possibilities when it comes to sequence? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as in you start with multiple choice questions, single answer, and end with fill in the blanks drop down. It can also be in the reverse order. You start with fill in the blanks drop down, end with multiple choice questions, single answer. Okay. The third possible sequence is you start with multiple choice question, single answer. Okay. So now what we have to understand is you start your test either with multiple choice question or with fill in the blanks. The reorder paragraph will be there somewhere in the middle. Okay. Now, please understand the reality of the test. So when it comes to multiple choice question single answer, it does not have much weightage. Okay, so multiple choice question single answer, you get 1 mark if you get the answer correct. Okay, and around 2 to 3 questions will be there. Multiple choice question, multiple answer. Okay, again 2 to 3 questions will be there. And in fact, there is negative marking when it comes to multiple choice question, multiple answer. In contrast, fill in the blanks, be it fill in the blanks drag and drop or be it fill in the blanks drop down, has got a lot of weightage. Okay, so you have to understand wherein lies your strength. If the candidate, if the test taker is really good when it comes to reading happens to be the strength, then the candidate will definitely do well when it comes to MCQs. And if grammar happens to be your strength, then fill in the blanks is what you should focus on. In fact, we have to understand the reality of the test, that since fill in the blanks has got the maximum weightage, we cannot leave our fill in the blanks questions unanswered. And everything depends upon our effective time management. So managing time is crucial. Overall, the timer will be running down. You do not have time specified for each and every task type. So how much time you want to give to each and every task type, how much time you want to give to each and every question is totally up to the test taker. Okay, so suppose the test taker, in his case, the test starts with multiple choice question, single answer, and for some odd reason, he ends up spending a lot of time for MCQ single answer. So maybe he's giving it 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Okay, so for just 1 mark, I am dedicating my 2 precious minutes. Okay, now if this is how we perform, if we do not understand the weightage of the task type, the question type, and we give too much time to our MCQs, then it might be the case that we don't even get the chance to answer my fill in the blanks. Okay, so if the test starts with fill in the blanks, great. If the test starts with MCQs, we really need to understand how to manage our time well. So if needed, if I think that I am giving too much time to one particular multiple choice question, I should simply guess the answer and click next and go to the next question, because at the end of the day, it doesn't have much weightage. So managing time is crucial. Remember that. Okay. Now, coming back to this discussion of this fill in the blanks. So what do we understand? Fill in the blanks definitely has got the maximum weightage, be it fill in the blanks drag and drop or be it fill in the blanks drop down. So for drag and drop, you will be having around 2 to 3 questions, and each gapped text will be having around 5 to 6 marks. Similarly, fill in the blanks drop down. You are going to have a gapped text and there will be around 5 to 6 blanks in each of those gap texts. So altogether, the weightage is really high. In fact, when we want to score 79 plus in our reading, we have to ensure that we answer fill in the blanks drop down without fail. Okay, fine. If we end up missing answering this fill in the blanks drop down, then unfortunately the score can never be above 79. Okay, so let us now discuss about fill in the blanks drop down. Okay. So what do we expect when it comes to fill in the blanks drop down? In this case, we will be having a gapped text. Okay. Generally 3 to 4 blanks will be there. And just where you're supposed to write the word, you have to fill in this gap text with words, and the words will be provided over there, the options. So there will be a drop down option. Once you click on that drop down option, around 2 to 3 options will be there. Okay, and you have to choose the right answer. Okay, now, so this fill in the blanks drop down to test your knowledge of grammar, collocation, and vocabulary. Remember, okay, grammar, collocation, and vocabulary. We need to read the gap text, understand it well. Then we have to go by grammar clues which are there, okay, as also our knowledge of collocation, which is very important, okay, and vocabulary. So everything plays a good role. I would always request you to go through the list of collocation which is available very much. So you should be thorough when it comes to your knowledge of collocation. It's very important. And then vocabulary, of course, it also has got its own role to play. Okay. Now, when I say vocabulary, please understand formal vocabulary, the importance, we have to understand the importance of formal vocabulary. Now, what do I mean by formal vocabulary? Okay, for this, I am going to demonstrate that with the help of an example on this board. Okay, so let me write down a sentence for you, and I will, of course, have words, and you will understand the difference between a formal vocabulary and not so formal vocabulary. Okay, so here goes the sentence. So suppose the sentence is something like this. The old building will need to be demolished. So now, actually over here, there is a blank. The old building will need to be blank space. And for this blank space, we have two options, okay? Demolished slash knocked down. Okay, so these are the two options. Imagine that there is a drop down option over here. And when you click on the drop down option, you see these two options, demolished versus knocked down. Okay. Before again there is a blank. Okay. And now for this blank, we have two options. Before the construction slash building. So these are the two options that we have. Building of the new one can, and we have the third blank. Okay, and what are the drop down options that we have for the third blank? We have two options. One is, I'm writing for you over here, one option is begin, another option is commence. So what is the sentence? So what is the sentence? The sentence reads like this. The old building will need to be, then we have the blank space. Okay, the old building will need to be blank, we have a drop down option. The two answer choices that we have is demolished versus knocked down. I have to choose one of these two. Before the blank space, before the dash of the new one can, again another blank space. So how many blank spaces do we have? So we have to choose three words, right? 1, 1, 1. So we have 3 marks when it comes to this sentence. Okay, so this is a drop down, fill in the blanks drop down. So I have two options for each of these blanks. So for the first blank, the two options that I have is demolished versus knocked down. The second one is construction versus building. And for the third blank, the two options that I have is begin versus commence. So the old building will need to be dash before the dash of the new one can blank space. Okay, so definitely we have to understand the meaning of the sentence. And now when you understand the meaning of the sentence, you clicked on this drop down option, and then you see that both of these words that I have for blank number 1, they are so synonymous. The old building will need to be demolished. The old building will need to be knocked down. They essentially mean the same. But herein comes the role of my vocabulary, specifically the knowledge of formal vocabulary. So if you really see, demolished is more formal than knocked down. Okay, so the old building will need to be demolished. The word demolished is a more formal word than knocked down. Okay, so my correct answer should be demolished in this case and not knocked down, though essentially they mean the same. Okay, next, before the dash of the new one can dash. So before the, okay, I have two words for that, construction versus building. So again compare. So these two words again are synonymous to each other. But which word is more formal? I would say before the construction, the word construction is more formal as compared to building. So I have to choose the formal vocabulary construction. Before the construction of the new one can. And finally, I have two options, begin versus commence. So before the construction of the new one can, I have to decide, should I click on begin or should I click on commence? Now again, we have to go understand that out of these two words, commence is more formal than begin. So the right answer for the third blank should be commence and not begin. So now look at it. So finally, my answer is the old building will need to be demolished, right? Will need to be demolished before the construction, and not the word building, before the construction of the new one can commence. So what did we learn from this example that I had for you? So when we have a sentence that we have to complete, as we can see, so fill in the blanks question, it's a drop down option. So when it comes to drop down option, very often in those options that you have, there will be words which are synonymous to each other. Okay, and then we keep wondering which one to go for, because according to me, demolished is same as knocked down, right? So essentially they are synonymous, but which one is formal? Demolished is a formal word as compared to knocked down. So when you are practicing for your PTE reading, and also on the day of the examination, when you come across this kind of words, of course, drop down option will be having around 3 options. Okay, out of those 3 options, 3 to 4 options, 2 words would be synonymous to each other. Always choose the more formal word as compared to the informal word. So formal vocabulary, the knowledge of the same, indeed has a good role to play. I hope we have understood. I hope this tip will help you. So please practice a lot. Always understand fill in the blanks question has got a lot of weightage. So brush up your grammar skills, go through the list of collocation, and understand the difference between a formal word and an informal word. Okay? Give your best, practice a lot, because at the end of the day, practice makes us perfect. Thank you so much for your time. See you soon with another video. Bye bye. Take care. All the best.